Hey, friends! Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. Come join me, your host, Nicole, for some hope-filled conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing. Hey, Hearties! Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, and today my co-host Brennan and I are here to talk about When Calls the Heart, Season 12, Episode 5, Mom's the Word. It was written by Elizabeth Stewart and directed by Martin Wood. Elizabeth develops a new method of teaching. Nathan goes undercover. A familiar face returns to Hope Valley with an unlucky heiress in tow. And Lucas and Lee face their differences. What were your first impressions on Mom's the Word?
Oh, well, I love this episode so much. Again, it just, this season just seems to be getting better and better as it goes along. And this episode certainly did not disappoint. And I really loved it because we knew that all the undercover stuff was going to go on with Nathan and that was going to be the storyline, which I was so excited for. But there were a couple other storylines that I wasn't expecting that I really loved.
Yeah, me too.
What
I
about
think it was
you?
great. Great writing, great acting,
Hmm.
directing.
Hmm.
Martin is one of my favorite directors, I think, for this show. Elizabeth is a great writer.
Hmm.
I think
Fantastic.
she's been there a long time. I don't know if
Hmm.
she's one of the OG writers, so to speak. I can't remember, but I know she's been there for a long time on that show.
Yes.
So,
Yes. She's so good. She knows her stuff.
yes, she definitely does. This week, why don't we start once again with the mystery of the
Yeah.
gold coin?
Hmm.
So, Bill, Rosemary, and Jed. That scene when Bill just kind of slams the coin down on the desk and is interrogating Jed. Well, Rosemary too, but
Hmm. It was really funny how like the camera like went up from the table because you're right, you
mhm,
see like the coin slam and then like the shot goes up and you just see
yeah,
Jed like in between Rosemary and Bill and they're both coming from either
yeah,
side.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
Jed is saying he didn't come forward because he was embarrassed. He
Hmm.
won the coin in a poker game at a hotel in Union City, and the saloons keep kicking him out because they think he's cheating. And Bill's like, "Are you a card sharp?"
Oh,
Which I guess he kind of is if he keeps getting kicked out.
right. Like
Yeah,
Jed's got some secret skills going on. Who knew?
yeah. And he got the coin from a man named Toddy Davis, who is an estate dealer. And just back to the previous thing I said for a second, the card sharp really brought me back to season one with
Mm.
Kat Montgomery and her husband that was a gambler. I don't know if you remember that. And
Oh, I kind of do.
because
Yeah.
she had been accused of burning down the church, and she
Mm.
was afraid to tell her story of, why she was innocent because she didn't want people to look at her husband differently because of him being a gambler.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah,
was a
this was very similar
great
to that.
story,
Mm.
great storyline of
Oh,
season one.
it was. I have to go back and watch season one. It's
Yeah,
so good. It's been a minute since I've really gone back
yeah.
and watched it.
Yes, I do too. And we will meet Toddy Davis in just a little bit.
Mhm.
So, Nathan, Bill, and Rosemary, we get two scenes in the Mountie office. The first one, they're walking to the Mountie office, and Nathan is saying how headquarters confirmed that the coin found at the mercantile came from the Great Rocky Mountain train robbery. Dun dun
Mhm.
dun.
Good job,
And
Nathan.
they go over the investigation board. Nathan suggests that he go undercover, and The reactions from Bill and Rosemary were priceless. They were like, "You?"
I loved it because Nathan, he just seems so confident in his idea. And you can tell he'd been thinking about it. And he just says it so confidently, like, we go undercover. And Rosemary immediately gets so excited. She's thinking about this character that she could play. And of course, Bill squashes that and is like, no, I'm going to go. And then Nathan is like, well, actually, I thought I'd do it. And then
Yeah.
they both look at him like, you? And it's so great.
Yeah. So headquarters is working on an invitation to the High Rollers game at the Union Club. And
Mhm.
Rosemary telling Nathan he has a generic face was hilarious. He was like, I'm sitting right here.
Oh my goodness. And Bill also says, yeah, it's a face. What does he say? He says, oh, it's a face people forget,
Something like
which
that.
I'm sure to all of us Nathan fans were like,
Hmm.
oh, he's anything but because
Hmm.
Nathan has such a beautiful and handsome face.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
poor guy.
Yes. And then the makeover was perfection.
Oh my gosh, Nicole, that was so good. How much fun do you think Pascal had doing that?
A lot of fun.
I love just how animated she got, and you can tell
Yeah.
she was in her element. She's like, oh, this is my moment. I get to create this character. I get to
Yes.
give you a makeover. I'm going to teach you how. I love how she did that gambler walk.
Yes. Nathan's walk was
I actually kind of liked it. I thought it was kind of adorable. And she's like, I've seen enough. Nathan, I've seen enough.
Yep. And then Rosemary gives Nathan the lapel
Mhm,
pin from Lee's grandfather, who was quite the man about town back in his day.
mhm,
And then, they come up with the alter ego, Danny DeMarco.
mhm.
And Rosemary says, a rare coin dealer from Capital City, originally Nevada City. His family struck it rich in the gold rush, but lost it all in the flood of 1910. And Nathan's
Mhm.
expressions are just like, he's just like slowly stands up, like, I'm liking this.
Mhm. It's so true. You can tell he's kind of getting into it like, yeah, yeah, that sounds good. And just how close Rosemary gets to him. And because we
Mhm.
know Kevin is tall and like, Rosemary's like right there. She's like,
Yeah,
looking up at him. And then when he looks in the mirror and does like the head turn, it's so good.
that was hilarious. I was about to bring that up. He's like,
Yeah, it's so good. He's like, yeah, I can see it. This could work.
yep.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was such a fun scene. It
Yeah,
was just it's so fun to see the three of them
yeah.
just play together like that
Mhm.
and be just kind of loose and fun with each other like that because sometimes they can just all be so serious together.
Yeah,
So,
agreed. So we get Nathan at the Union Club, and the second scene is when he actually sits down and is playing poker with Toddy. And I guess Toddy had won the round of poker that they were playing.
mm-hmm.
And he says, seems Lady Luck is on my side tonight, Mr. I'm not here to make friends, buddy. Okay, buddy.
Yes, Nathan, play those cards.
Oh my gosh.
He was so convincing. What do you think?
I think he did a great job.
I think so too. He didn't
Yeah.
break character once. Not that
Mm-mm.
we saw.
And then the third scene, they have the conversation at the bar, and Toddy starts to walk away. He's like, I have other commitments, and Nathan slash Danny is like,
Hmm.
who's the girl? And
Hmm.
Trudy is her name, the most
Hmm.
gorgeous gal you're ever gonna meet. And Nathan slash Danny says, well, you haven't met my gal yet, Diane.
So good. And can we just talk about, okay, how handsome was he in his white tux?
Yes,
That shot of him, Nicole, at the bar when he's drinking his martini. Oh,
that was great by
so
Martin.
great. It's such a good
Yeah.
shot just of his profile. And
Hmm.
I mean, he just looks so handsome. He looked real good.
Yes, he did. And
PSA.
and then they're discussing what they do, and Toddy notices the lapel pin and
Mhm.
asks if he wants to sell it, and Danny slash Nathan is like, no, it's a family heirloom, don't want to sell it.
Mhm.
And then Nathan or Danny points out the, I think, gold watch that Toddy had.
Mhm.
And they're just talking about that. And then eventually Toddy gives Nathan slash Danny his card.
Mhm.
So he has an
Yeah, and
in.
he has an in. And Nathan again did such a great job staying in his
Hmm.
character. And you
Hmm.
can tell Toddy is buying everything he's saying. He's
Yeah.
believing him. Even his expression, you can kind of tell, like, okay, this is a guy that, I could see myself doing
Hmm.
business with or having more conversations with.
Yeah.
And also Nathan did a little Batman voice, I think.
He did a great job. Way to go, Nathan.
Good job. And I
Yes.
like what did you think his last thing he says to Toddy is like, I just might do that. Thanks, friend. And then
Friend.
he just turns and walks. That was so
Yeah.
good.
That was great.
I also liked like the music that was playing in the background.
Yeah.
It was like kind of like jazzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really liked the music. It
Yeah. Me too.
it just felt like a classic
Yeah.
kind of mystery music.
Yeah. I was going to ask, what building in Jamestown do you think they used for the poker club? I'm trying to figure that out.
Oh, I and Nicole, correct me if I'm wrong. People watching, correct me if I'm wrong in the
Hmm.
comments.
Hmm.
But I think in an Edify interview that came out with the set designer,
Okay.
I
I haven't
think
watched it yet.
I think I heard her say that it was in Bill's office. Like that was the space that they used. Pretty sure that's what I heard.
I haven't watched it yet, but that was going to be my guess.
Was that your guess too?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was one shot I feel like they did that it might have been in the bar scene
Mm.
where it's looking, in the background in that one area, when you're walking into Bill's office or when someone's walking into Bill's office, it's on the left side,
Yeah.
like where there's two walls, and then that
Mm-hmm.
one other wall in the middle with the picture frame, a
Yeah.
painting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, they did a fantastic job because even when I went back and watched it a
Yeah.
couple more times, I really was trying to pay attention, like,
Hmm.
okay, what looks familiar? And it really is so hard to tell. They
Hmm.
did such a great job covering that and
Yeah.
just forming it.
Yes. And the window too.
Yeah.
It looked like it was from Bill's office.
Yes. I would agree. Something about the
Yeah.
lighting. Yes.
Yes. Before we move on to Lucas, Lee, and Fiona, I am really excited to see where this mystery storyline goes next.
Hmm.
Next week for episode
Hmm.
7.
Me too, because we know it's not over yet.
Danny and Diane.
I'm so excited we get to see
Yeah.
more, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out.
Yeah. Me too. It's going to be fun seeing those two undercover together.
Oh, so fun. It's going to be
Yeah.
fun seeing Elizabeth undercover and how she will be.
Yes. I wonder what her personality as Diane is going to be.
Mm. Hmm. That'll be so fun. Yeah, I wonder what
Yeah.
she'll be like.
Yes. And I feel like in the photos that they released, it looks like the ring that she normally wears on her right hand,
Hmm.
she moved to her left hand.
I know. I know, very excited. I'm excited to see what that's about. Hopefully
Yeah.
they mention it.
Yes. I hope so too. Are they going to be married or engaged?
Ooh.
I don't know, because we don't see a ring on Nathan's hand, but
Hmm.
maybe they're just hiding that.
That's very true. They could be. I can
Yeah.
definitely see engaged.
Me too. Definitely
Hmm.
engaged.
Yeah.
But anyway, going to Lucas, Lee, and Fiona. We have Fiona and Ava, and Fiona is going back into town, and Ava stops her because we find out that she was walking from the train station and someone stole her bags. So, she didn't
Mhm.
have any other way to travel other than on foot. She is
Mm.
supposedly looking for a new start. I knew right away. She
Mm.
seems fishy,
Yeah, she's very sus.
very sus. And even in the scene when Fiona reunites with Mike and Elizabeth in the saloon, she's acting very suspicious because, she's telling what happened. And I wrote in my notes, sounds familiar. Cough, cough, Elizabeth, season one, episode one.
Yes. Hmm.
Her stagecoach was robbed.
Hmm.
I'll never forget that scene when Elizabeth rides into town in the wagon and she's asleep and then she just sits up and just like props herself
Oh,
up.
that first scene of her coming in, you're right. It is so good. And, when bad guys come and they're, you know, um, starting to rob or cause trouble, you see her like duck and you see like her
Yeah.
expression and she's
Yeah.
still narrating and she's just like,
Hmm.
what is going on?
Yep. And anyway, Ava is from Baltimore and she came to town, or she wanted to come to town because she read Elizabeth's book, and she also wants to be a teacher. That is sus.
Yeah, they're just everything that happened to Elizabeth happened to her. And I understand some things can be a coincidence,
Yeah.
but the way that Elizabeth came to town, it was the exact same way Ava came to town. And everything that happened that Ava is claiming happened seems to be happening in a very suspicious way.
Yes.
It just seems like, okay, this is more than a
Yeah.
coincidence. It
Hmm.
just seems like there's more there. And for someone
Yeah.
who lost her luggage, she really
Hmm.
doesn't seem that upset.
No,
I
she
would be freaking
doesn't.
out.
Yeah, and she lost her wallet too with all of her
Hmm.
money. Yeah, I would be
Hmm.
freaking out.
I would be freaking out. I don't even think I'd be hungry. I'd be like, I can't eat. I have to figure out where in the world
Mm-mm.
is my stuff.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of theories, two in particular. There's been some people question if she is somehow involved with the mystery. Like maybe
Hmm.
she's really Tottie's girlfriend or significant other.
Mm. Right, right. And she's an heiress, but how is she an heiress? Like,
Yeah,
does she or maybe did she like inherit like stolen money? Like the money that she
possible.
inherited was
Yeah.
was stolen and part of what happened back in 1907.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then not necessarily relation wise to the mystery, but I've seen a few people say, what if she turns out to be someone that abducts maybe little Jack, like kidnaps him? I think
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about this on, what was it, an Instagram Live the other day?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I brought it up in the comments, I think.
Yes. Yeah, you did. And I think that's a good theory. I mean, I think that'd be really interesting. Just, I
Yeah.
mean, of course, it would be scary and leave us on the edge of our seats
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
Of course we hope not, but would it be a situation where she would almost be holding little Jack as ransom?
And this story, if it happens, where little Jack is kidnapped,
Mhm,
possibly by Ava,
mhm.
it would maybe be a callback, something that reminds people of Little House on the Prairie, one of the last movies of the series after season 9. Little House, Bless All the Dear Children. It's, I think, the last Christmas episode that they did. It was in movie format when Rose is kidnapped by the woman who recently lost her child and takes her to that
Oh,
cabin.
mm, I forgot about that. You're right. And we're seeing a lot of Little House callbacks this season. So
Not surprised me. If
no, that's not far-fetched at all.
mm-mm,
Mm-mm.
no. Although I don't know if that's actually going to happen because of what we know now for episode 11, where little Jack gets sick. So
But it's still fun to
yeah,
theorize. And as we know with this show, they
yeah.
take us in all sorts of directions. We just never know.
No, we never know. But it would be a callback for sure if
It
that
would
happened.
definitely be a callback, and it would still allow for that hero story that
Yeah,
we're all hoping for
Nathan.
Nathan,
Yeah,
that hero arc,
yeah.
him going to rescue little Jack and
Yeah. Before we move on, I have to bring this up
Mhm,
for this scene. So Ava ordering all the food and Jack's
mhm.
comment sounds like they stole everything but her appetite.
Little Jack throwing shade.
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious. And Ava's expression, she just looks so annoyed, like, oh, this little kid, just let me order off the menu. Or
Yeah.
just she just does, I don't know. I just if you when you catch her expression,
Yeah.
she just looks kind of annoyed. And it's
hmm
like for someone that wants to be a teacher,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
He's not wrong. I
No.
mean, she's ordered a
Yeah.
full spread. Goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
Yeah. So Lucas and Fiona, I thought their reunion was really sweet. And I like Edie. I do. She would be a great love interest for Lucas.
Hmm.
But seeing the two of them does make it a little difficult.
Oh my goodness, Nicole. The hug that Lucas gave Fiona, he just completely wrapped his arms around her, which was so, so sweet. But he's never hugged anybody that way on this show, not even Elizabeth. And he was so happy to see her. And even the way he like kind of leans in and is like, look at you, all rosy cheeked. I like
Yes.
Lucas. He just was so
Yeah.
glued on her. And then even
Yeah.
before he leaves, he says, well, I want to catch up. Come see me in the cafe.
Yeah. hmm
I I have always wanted Lucas and Fiona together.
Me too.
So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that still might happen.
Yes. That
Mm.
is my hope that Fiona realizes that she doesn't want to marry the man that she says she's going to say yes to.
Mm. No, she can't. She can't. You can tell. You can tell she's
Yeah.
struggling with it. And I
Yeah.
mean, it makes you wonder, like, does she even want to, or does she feel like she has
Yeah.
to?
Maybe she feels like she has to.
I think so too, in order to do what she wants to
Yeah.
do in the world.
Yeah. hmm
Hmm.
But maybe I know that Kayla is on Landman, but maybe there's a way that she can stay on. Fingers crossed.
I think there could be a way, fingers crossed, if Landman continues and if the schedules
Yeah.
work out and she's done filming by the time they start filming when calls
Yeah.
heart, I can see it working out.
Yeah.
And
Me too.
I also love Fiona's entrance when she drives up in the car.
Yeah. That was
That was
great.
great. Was that the first time we saw her driving a car?
Um, Maybe the second. I would have to go back and watch
Yeah, me too.
one of the
Me too.
earlier
We've seen her
seasons.
on a motorcycle, which was fun, but
Yeah.
I loved her entrance into town. And I love when she first comes into the saloon and Mike just walks right by her and he's telling Earl an order. And then he's like,
Yeah.
1 minute, Fiona. And she's kind of like, hello.
Yeah. Like, okay, right here.
And I love how Fiona is just back, just at the bar,
Yeah.
hanging out with all the guys, drinking her sarsaparilla.
Yeah.
It was so good to see her back in Hope
Yes.
Valley.
Yes, it was.
Mhm.
And I like how Mike is trying to downplay the rift between Lucas and Lee.
It was so funny. He kind of just kept babbling. He was like, "Yeah, well, like, not that there's anything going on. It's just Lucas can't use his office, but not because of like anything bad." And
Yeah.
he's just trying to save it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Of course, Lee is annoyed by Lucas's announcement about the national park in the press
Mhm.
release
Mhm.
instead of just telling him. And Lee is like, Lucas is allowing cattle to run wild. And Lee leaves, Lucas leaves, and Fiona is like, does anyone still meddle in this town?
Mhm. That was so good. And she basically was like, "This is about a cow?" Like,
Yep, a park and a cow.
mhm.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad she's back. And she just
Yes,
looks so beautiful.
she
And she's
does.
been missed
Yeah.
for sure.
Yes, she really
Mhm.
has. On to Fiona, Faith, and May. That was a nice scene with them, their reunion,
Oh,
when
that was so sweet. I loved it.
she's sharing everything that's been going on
Mhm.
in her life.
Mhm. Yeah, it was good to hear what's
Yeah.
been going on in her life. And it seems like a
Yeah.
lot has changed.
Yeah. And she's considering selling the salon for Mr. Weaver after he offered to split the profits.
Mhm.
And that is so she can get set up in San Francisco. And she wants to be somewhere that she can make a difference. And we were just talking about this a little bit a few minutes ago.
Mhm. Yes, and I love that about Fiona. She's always been that way. She wants to continue to go out into the world and make good and do something meaningful and important. But I could tell in this scene at least, she's really trying to build everything up that's going on in her life, but I could tell she still wasn't completely being herself or maybe completely being
Yeah.
transparent or being completely honest.
Yeah. Agreed. And I also have to mention um proposing marriage through a letter. Really?
Yeah, Nicole, good point. How unromantic is that?
No.
Like, did he even give her a ring? And
That's
where is he from that he has to write her a letter and propose? I
that's
just, I mean, she deserves way better than that. And you could see she was trying to even convince herself along with Faith and May, like, well, he keeps asking and he's a really good man
yeah.
and I'd be able to go and do all these things. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Fiona, you deserve so much better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah.
just a proposal through a letter.
Yes. And that's almost as bad as breaking up by text.
I think so. I think so. I think any girl who gets a proposal in the letter, they should definitely say no.
I definitely wouldn't say yes.
Same. I'd be like, come here in person,
Yeah.
give me a ring.
Yeah. I just got to bring this up for comical purposes because it was kind of funny. When
Mhm.
Mike brings Lucas and Joseph brings Lee to the stream, and Mike is like, you know what else is special? Friendship. And I think Joseph is in the background echoing that.
Mhm.
And Lucas is like, fishing. Really? Lee, trailblazing. Really?
That was so great. And real quick, how fun was it to see Mike on a horse? Have we ever seen him on a horse?
Um, hmm. If
I
we did, I feel like it was either season 3 finale when they all went looking for Jack,
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
or in the season 4 finale when they all went looking for Carson to come back and save Cody.
Mm,
I feel like
yes,
it was one of those times.
I think you're probably right. And I loved how Joseph and Mike, as they're leaving, they both take a horse with them. I just thought that was really impressive. Like, wow. It's not always easy to,
Yeah.
horseback ride on one horse, but
No.
let alone take another horse with you.
Yeah.
That was just
Yes.
so fun. It made me laugh.
Yes.
And the meddling begins.
The meddling begins. And they eventually, Lucas and Lee, that is, make amends. Lucas
Mhm.
felt hurt, like Lee, not for the same reason, but still hurt that he ran out on him. And, Lee running out made him look bad to the press and his opponents. And Lucas says, it's not easy making everyone happy, but maybe I'm not doing a good enough job with my friends. And
Hmm.
Lee feels the same way.
Oh, that was a really, really good
Yeah, it
scene.
was a good
And
scene.
they had a walk and talk, through the park, and they just were finally forced to talk about it. They're in this park, there's no one else around. And even when
Yeah.
Lee kind of tripped and Lucas kind of helps
Mm-hmm.
balance him again, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
these two men just have a deep
Yeah.
care for one another as
Yeah.
brothers and friends, and that was
Yeah.
great.
Yes, I think so too. Also, them seeing the cow, that was hilarious.
That was so cute. And that cow was adorable.
Yeah, Lee's like, okay, cow, stay there, or something like that.
Yes, that was cute.
Yeah. And then we get to Mike, Fiona, and Rosemary. They're talking about Ava, and Mike is kind of venting how she bought a round of drinks for the entire saloon, but didn't really buy because she doesn't have money.
Mm-hmm.
Then Lucas and Lee walk in, and by then Rosemary had come in, and they see that they have made things right. And Joseph says, sometimes you got to get lost so he can lead us back home. That was a
Mm.
great quote.
That was such a great quote. And you could tell after he said
Yeah.
that, just the look on Fiona's face.
Hmm.
I think that
Yeah.
spoke to her.
Yes, I think so too.
And can I just mention Mike for a minute? I really liked him this episode.
Me too.
Not that he was trying to be funny,
Yeah.
but just his comedic timing
Hmm.
is just so good, and his expressions, like when Ava was like, "Oh, and I'm a great singer if you ever want to
Yeah.
liven the place up," and he's like, "Fantastic." And then he turns around and he's like,
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
tab is out of control.
Yeah.
I just really liked him this episode.
Yeah. Me too. So we get to the Grants and the Thorntons, and the first two scenes of this episode were so good.
Oh, so cute. Oh my goodness. How adorable was it when she's flipping her paper and
Hmm.
then we just see him watching her, and oh, just the look on his face. He is just so in love with her. It's so adorable.
And the flirting and him being distracted and the kiss.
Oh, that was
This right here.
so cute. It's like, yes, Nathan, keep it going. This is great.
Yeah,
That was adorable. So
it really
cute.
was. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then the next scene, he brings her a homemade cheese sandwich. So thoughtful. And then
Yeah.
the first surge kiss.
Search kiss number one. That was so cute. And did you also catch this, Nicole? I know this was going around. He kind of like teases her with the sandwich to like
I didn't catch
get a
it the first
kiss
time.
first. If you go back and watch, it's cute. I don't know if they did this on purpose or if this just
Yeah.
is, but like they're kind of leaning in, and then he kind of like pulls the
Pulls
sandwich
it.
away and then goes in
Yeah.
for the kiss. And that was so sweet. We got two like sweet kiss scenes in a row, just
Yes,
two
we
sweet
did.
scenes with them. That was
Yeah.
great.
I didn't catch it the first time, so live, but I did catch it, I guess, when I went back and watched it.
Yeah,
And that was really cute.
so cute. I just love the first two scenes were them just at home
Yeah.
together. Hmm.
Yes. So domestic, and I love it.
So domestic. And can we talk about Nathan's puppy face?
The puppy dog eyes.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Will you talk to
Uh,
her for me? Oh,
yeah.
Nathan.
Yeah, the puppy dog eyes were really cute when he is asking Elizabeth to talk to Allie about
Mm-hmm.
Wyatt.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so cute.
Yes. And then Elizabeth is like, I've never known anyone who was warned away from following their heart.
Mm.
I love the school scenes in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
They were
I
great.
do too. They were so great. It's
Yeah.
so great to see all these classroom
Hmm.
scenes. And it was so fun to see Elizabeth
Yeah.
trying something new, this new
Hmm.
curriculum. That was
Yeah.
great. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. And I love how Jack mentions reading fairy tales and Elizabeth follows up with writing their own. Jack's like, we can read fairy tales. There's wolves.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That was really sweet. Just how
Yeah.
he gave an answer and
Hmm.
wanted to contribute to what his mom was saying
Yeah.
and his teacher.
Yes. And that other scene with them was really cute when he is embarrassed by calling her mama at school.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. I appreciated how Elizabeth went back and talked to him about it. And then,
Yeah, me too.
Allie kind of reassured him, well,
Yeah.
it's just because we call her Mrs. Thornton.
Yeah. That was really cute.
That was really sweet.
And the outdoor classroom scene with Ava stepping in the poison oak.
She was out there, what, a whole 5 seconds?
That didn't last
Oh.
long.
I feel
Uh,
bad because, they're out there and the kids are so excited and Elizabeth excited and is excited. And I kind of felt bad for Emily. She had to leave to go take her and kind of miss
yeah.
some of the action.
Yeah.
Do you think Ava did that on purpose, or do you think she's just kind of so clueless she just wasn't paying
Probably.
attention?
She
Hmm.
probably just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Watch
Oh
where you're
boy.
going.
Right?
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
The be safe scene.
Oh, yes, Nicole. We got to be safe. We were so hoping we would.
Yay.
And it was so cute.
Yeah.
We love that scene, right? Where Nathan is walking through town with the white tux and he's kind of getting into it. And Elizabeth just runs up to him and she says, "You look so handsome."
Um,
I think that was the first time we've heard her call him handsome.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so sweet.
And so sweet. And he absolutely looks handsome. And then it was so cute. Did you catch this? She says, "You look very handsome." And he's like, "Really?"
Yeah.
Like, Nathan, yes, you do. You're so darn humble.
Yes. Plenty of time for moon eyes later.
I love how Bill was like the shipper, like, when are you going to get together? And now he's like giving them a hard time.
Not any business. Let's go.
He's like, all right, enough.
Oh. And then the arm touch and the be safe and the wink.
The wink. Oh, how cute was that?
That was adorable.
That was adorable. I know, Nicole, I'm so glad we got to be safe. And you're right, when they were walking after Nathan meets
Hmm.
Ava, the arm grab and he's holding
Yeah.
her hand. Oh, it was so sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
I didn't
But you're
mention
right,
that.
though. You're right, though. That does happen when he's in the tux, too.
Yes, it
Hmm.
does. The scene when they're walking through town and he's holding her hand.
Oh, it's so good. It's so adorable. And he's like telling her about
Mm-hmm.
what he's going to do. And he's like, I don't want you to
Yeah.
worry. It's so cute. It's so sweet. And
Yeah.
then at the very end, he's like, okay, basically, like, enough about me. Tell me all about how
Mm-hmm.
your new curriculum went. I'm like, oh, it's so sweet.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely feel like Nathan even senses something is off with Ava.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because he asks her, well, did you fill out a report? And she's like, oh, no. And
No.
I
Oh
think
my goodness.
maybe he was thinking, why isn't she more concerned? Why isn't
Mm-hmm.
she crying?
Yeah, exactly.
I lost all my stuff. That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah. Even though I'm suspicious of Ava, that was a good scene with her and Elizabeth in the infirmary.
It was. It
Yeah.
was really, really good. We got kind of a glimpse of Ava having a
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable moment, and Elizabeth really helped her a lot this episode.
Yeah, I think she did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get Elizabeth and Allie, and Elizabeth tries to bring up Wyatt, and Allie gets upset, thinking that she's against her too, along with her
Mm-hmm.
dad.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And you can tell Elizabeth, she's just trying to help. She cares about Allie, and I think she has a lot of love for her.
I think she does
Mm-hmm.
too. That was
Mm-hmm.
tough to watch.
Yeah, it was. And you can tell as soon as Elizabeth saw that Allie was getting
Mm-hmm.
a little defensive and then she really tried to convince Allie, like, no, no,
Mm-hmm.
I really do like
Yeah,
him. But then I think she realized it
yeah.
was a little too late.
And then Elizabeth and Rosemary have a talk at the row house, and they're talking about Ava and going back in time to give their younger self advice. And Rosemary's comment was hilarious. She's like, I don't even know if I would listen to my advice now. Or, or back then, I think is what she meant.
That was great.
Uh,
Yes.
and then they talk
Oh.
about Allie liking
Mhm.
Wyatt. And Rosemary says, nothing drives a girl into the wrong arms faster than parental disapproval. And Rosemary also mentions that Allie could use a mother or mother figure now more than ever, but Elizabeth doesn't want to presume. What did you think about what Elizabeth said? There's been some talk about this.
Hmm. I think Elizabeth wants to be that for Allie,
I think she does, yeah.
but I think in her mind, she really is hoping and thinking, like, I
Yeah,
want to be that for Allie. I want to be more than her teacher.
yeah,
I want to be someone that she can come to and talk to
yeah.
and be that mother figure for her. And
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that Rosemary was the one to give her some
Yeah.
advice in this moment. And it reminded me of last season, right
Mm-hmm.
after Nathan and Elizabeth and Allie get home from Allie trying to see Dylan.
Yeah.
Rosemary says something to Elizabeth like, Nathan needs you like just as much as Allie does.
Allie. Yeah.
Hmm. And that reminded me of this episode when Rosemary is again giving Elizabeth advice
Mm-hmm.
about Allie. And I just thought
Yeah.
that was neat that we've seen that now in a couple seasons.
Yeah. I love that too.
Mhm.
And oh, Wyatt, Wyatt, Wyatt.
Oh, oh,
He friend zones her.
that was rough, wasn't it?
I've been there.
I have too. Mm-hmm.
I know how
Mm-hmm.
Allie feels.
Mm-hmm. I have too. Oh, how did you think that scene was gonna go? When you saw Allie walk up to him, and what did you think was gonna happen?
I didn't know exactly what he was going to say, but I knew it wasn't going to turn out well.
You thought he was gonna turn her down.
Yeah, I knew he was
Yeah.
going to turn her down.
Yeah. Allie she's so excited and she just kind of
Yeah.
bounces up to him and she
Mm-hmm.
just is so excited and
Yeah.
maybe a little nervous and I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
really sweet how she kind of gave Nathan a hard time about going on picnics a couple episodes
Yeah.
ago, but then she asked him to go on a picnic and it was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, Allie, you're
Yeah.
just like your dad." And
But thank you to the writers for not dragging out a triangle. Thank you.
mm-hmm. Right, exactly. I'm glad it's been
Yeah.
squashed,
Yeah.
but you could just see just the disappointment and just
Hmm.
disbelief on Allie's face. She's trying to be brave
Yeah.
as Wyatt's turning her down, and she's
Yeah.
like, and then she walks away and just starts crying,
Hmm.
and oh, first heartbreak.
I know.
So sad.
So, best scene of the episode, Elizabeth and Allie's porch conversation.
I completely agree with you. Best scene of the episode.
Hmm.
Oh, so beautiful.
Yes. So she's trying to comfort Allie about Wyatt. The only
Hmm.
speed that really matters is yours. When the
Hmm.
right one comes along, you'll know the difference. If I
Hmm.
was little Jack, I'd call you mom all the time.
Oh, oh, that was so beautiful. And just she gets so emotional. And I loved how it was another porch moment
Hmm. Me
because last
too.
season we saw beautiful porch moments with Nathan and
Yeah.
Elizabeth, but now we see one with Allie
Hmm.
too. That's become such a special and intimate place for their family.
Yes, I think so too. We haven't gotten a porch scene with Elizabeth and Allie since season 9.
That's true. You're right. Yes, I know the exact one you're thinking of. Yep. Yep. Which also was about a boy, right? Was it kind of
Robert.
about like Robert?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Which that one was
Oh,
sweet too.
that one was really sweet. Really
And
sweet.
Elizabeth suggests to Allie that she call her by her name when they're
Mm-hmm.
at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big deal. That is a big step.
They are totally setting this up for Nathan and Elizabeth to get married. I'm just going to say it right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, Nicole, 100%. They are completely setting this up. There's a reason that they're creating moments and
Hmm.
scenes like this. It's leading up
Yeah.
to something.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that ends the episode. So why don't we just talk about what's next? We've gotten the synopsis for the rest of the season. And
Mm-hmm.
before we talk about episode 6 coming up
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow
Yep.
night,
Mm-hmm.
episode 11, is that the one that talks about Nathan and Elizabeth making summer plans, or is it episode 12?
Oh, let's see. I think you're right.
I feel like they're hiding something big.
I think they are. And you're so right. Like the wording, a happy summer. Okay,
Uh,
they already are happy together. And
what?
what possibly could they be planning? Like, I don't think it's like, oh, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend more.
No,
I
it's
think it's a bigger
uh-huh.
plan, a hopefully family marriage
Yeah.
plan.
Yes. Maybe honeymoon.
Oh,
Maybe.
Nicole, I didn't even think of a honeymoon, but I would love that. Okay, I'm hoping for that now. That would be the perfect time for a honeymoon because Elizabeth doesn't
Yeah.
have school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm. I feel like it's something too. Yeah, what do
Yeah.
you think?
They're totally setting this up. I'm trying to
Mhm.
temper my expectations, but I just cannot see it any other way with what
Mm-mm.
we've gotten. Nathan's
No.
comment, we march to our own drum.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I completely agree. And even back to the first episode, we had that first scene with Allie and Elizabeth. We had
Hmm.
that first scene with Nathan and little Jack and
Hmm.
everything that's going on with Allie and Elizabeth and
Yeah.
Allie are growing closer together. And we're gonna see more of Nathan helping to care for little Jack.
Yeah.
And I'm completely with you. They're building this season for them to more and more become that
Yeah.
family.
Yes.
But they also, Nathan and Elizabeth, have to make it official. They
Yeah.
have to get married. They have to
Yeah.
become that family officially.
Yes. Agreed. I can't wait for
I
the
hope
rest
that
of the
happens, or
season.
at least an engagement.
Yes, me too.
I mean, I know like you and I both would love for them to be married this season.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for still at least an engagement.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, on to episode 6. We have Nathan taking care of Elizabeth when she fights a cold. We have Allie and Oliver discovering a threat. Rosemary inviting the kids to debate Lucas on the radio. And Bill interrogates a suspect with an old friend's help.
Mhm.
Melissa Gilbert is also here this week. Yay!
I'm so
Welcome, Melissa
excited.
Gilbert.
Love her. She is going to be fantastic. I'm so excited.
Yes, me too. It's going to be
Mhm.
great to see her. It's going to be a great episode.
So great.
Yes. And one more thought I wanted to share. This was something I saw, it might have been last night on Thursday Threads. I kind of got a little behind on the chat, but I did come across a comment about what if the coffee date is after they're married?
Oh, that would be
Like the
amazing.
morning after their wedding, marriage, yeah,
Hmm.
like official.
Oh, right. That would be amazing. It
Yeah,
would be amazing. I can totally see that.
I
And
can too.
right? And that would totally line up with just the way that they're positioned in the shot. Because you
Yeah,
see, well, because Elizabeth has a blanket, so you can't really
yeah.
see her
You can't
hands.
see. Yeah,
And even Nathan, I think he's holding his cup in his right hand. I
I
think.
think so. Or maybe
Okay, I'll
his
have to go
left.
back and watch. Correct me
Yeah,
if I'm wrong, but I think. So it's like,
yeah,
ooh, did they do that on purpose so you can't see their left hands?
maybe. I can't wait for that scene.
Oh, Nicole, I love that theory. I know I was thinking about that scene today
Hmm.
actually, and I was like, when are we going to see it? I'm so excited for
Yeah,
that.
me too.
Me too.
That would be amazing if it's
That
that.
would that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I think that pretty much covers everything. Is there anything else you want to talk about with this episode before we wrap up?
Ooh, well, I am completely with you, Nicole, about this episode. It just was so
Hmm.
good. And
Hmm.
yeah, again, that last scene with Elizabeth and Allie was just so beautiful. And I think
Yeah.
that was just another scene where watching that, just our dreams are coming true because we
Yeah.
had talked about wanting to see this relationship
Hmm.
between Elizabeth and Allie, and that was our
Yeah.
hope. And well, we know what happened.
Yeah.
And so I'm just so thankful and grateful that the
Me
writers
too.
and everyone behind the scenes is finally making this happen and making
Yeah.
this Elizabeth and Allie relationship happen. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful. So
Yes.
that was just such a thrill to watch that last scene, and it was so beautiful. I'm
Yes.
just, it makes me so happy.
Yes.
Um,
I think so too. I'm so excited.
well, so we saw some wonderful press
Yeah.
interviews this week with Jack
Yes.
Wagner and Aaron Krakow, Kevin McGarry,
Yep.
and they were spilling some tea about this
Hmm.
episode, especially Jack and Kevin.
Yeah.
What did you think about that, Nicole?
I was surprised. Like, what? Of course, I don't want it explicit, and I don't think that they will go that route.
No, no.
But I don't mind a little spice. So I'm excited to see what's going to go down with the fever dream.
Yes, I completely agree. I'm with you. I really am looking forward
Yeah.
to a little more spice and a little more steam because
Hmm.
obviously we know that there's a physical attraction between Elizabeth and Nathan,
Yeah.
and I think it will be spicy, but also still really beautiful and
Yeah.
respectful. And I just thought it was so cute how giddy Kevin seemed to be, and he was saying things like
Yeah.
thirst trap and tune in to see more
Yeah.
smooches. And it just cracked me up about Jack. It was so great to hear him talk so much, but I feel like he's never really talked this much about an episode.
Hmm.
And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, this episode, he's just spilling the spicy tea. And I'm like, Jack Wagner is our new best friend.
Yes. Are we gonna get an unbuttoning and then maybe rebuttoning of the surge?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh, Nicole, yes, the sneak peek. Oh, yes. Let's also talk about the sneak peek. So after that sneak peek from Parade, I definitely think the surge will be in a dream. Because
Yeah.
Elizabeth says, I like you in red. I do hope that he's in the surge and
Yeah.
maybe the surge comes off.
Yeah.
What do you
That would
think?
be great. We need a redo of the season 8 scene.
We do. We do. This would be an amazing time to do a
Yeah.
redo. Let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. But anyway, Hardies, I think that wraps up our review of When Calls to Heart, Season 12, Episode 5, Mom's the Word. If you enjoyed this episode and are watching on YouTube, you can like this video and share your thoughts about the episode and any predictions for the rest of the season that you have in the comments. If you are listening on Spotify, make sure to rate and review, as your feedback is always greatly appreciated. If you want to stay up to date on all of our episodes for the rest of the season, you can subscribe to this channel on YouTube or follow along on Spotify, and make sure to turn on the bell so you are alerted when new episodes come. You can also find the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at Swing My Heart Podcast and Twitter at Swing My Heart Pod. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next week. We love y'all. Bye!